Hi everyone, I'm Nadia, and in today's video I'm going to be going over why to top coat out of the mold and also what resin to use for your top coat. I've been getting a lot of questions regarding this topic, and unfortunately I don't have the time to respond to every single comment, so I figured I would just turn it into a video. So I have a set of 4 coasters here that I recently made, and I'm prepping them for their top coat by using liquid latex. I have my liquid latex in this ketchup bottle because it makes it very easy to pour, and you can easily pour very close to the edge. So there are a couple of reasons why you would want to top coat your coasters out of the mold. One of them being is that it creates a very nice domed effect and gets rid of any sharp or lifted edges in your coasters. Doming your coasters improves the quality of them greatly. I'm using a silicone makeup brush to help spread the liquid latex to the very edge of the coasters. And I'm doing this because when I top coat out of the mold, if any resin pours over the coaster, this will protect the bottom side from any resin and will prevent it from curing onto the coaster. Once I've applied my liquid latex, I allow it to dry for 30 to 45 minutes. And this is what it looks like after this time. It's not completely dry, but you don't need to wait for it to completely dry to turn your coaster around and start your top coat. The most important part is that your liquid latex has dried just enough so that it won't move, and this will save you from waiting hours. And I have 2 more coasters that I'll be top coating at the same time. So for my top coat, I really like to use Honey Resin by Depon. When I'm working with Depon, I like to use their Epoxy Plast 3D B20 Jewel Cast Resin or their Coaster Cast Resin. These resins are great as a base, but they don't have a very high heat resistance. Because of this, I use a different resin like Honey Resin, which is higher in heat resistance and will do a better job protecting my coasters. They also have DCS resin, which I love to use for trays. After I've propped my coasters up onto cups, I start mixing in my part A and part B resin. Honey Resin is a 2-to-1 ratio by weight, so I measured out the parts using a small kitchen scale. After I've mixed for several minutes in 1 cup, I always repot my resin while I'm top coating, so after mixing in 1 cup, I pour into another cup and mix for several more minutes. And this is to make sure that every area has been mixed well. You'll want to make sure to check the instructions on your resin bottle to see how protective your resin is. For example, I also like to work with Craft Resin, and their resin has a pretty high heat resistance, so I could use Craft Resin as the base and then top coat with Craft Resin as well. And I'll have links in my description with a 10% discount code if you'd like to try out any of these resins. Then I'm ready to start pouring. Top coating is also great to do because it'll cover up any imperfections or particles that have gotten into your base coat. While working with resin, always be sure to wear nitrile gloves and a respirator mask and work in a well-ventilated area. I'll have all the products necessary in the description. I use a silicone makeup brush to help spread the resin to the edges. A lot of people have asked me if top coating is necessary, and it's not entirely necessary. It's completely up to you to decide the quality of your product. If you really wanted to, you could just leave your coasters as is. So this really is an extra step, but it really ups the quality of your piece by doming the edges, getting rid of any sharp areas, getting rid of any imperfections in the resin, and provides for an extra protective coat. And it's very important that your working space is leveled, as resin is self-leveling, and you want to make sure to cover every single area of the coaster and not miss any spots. You'll also want to pay attention to the humidity levels in your workspace while you're top coating, and be sure that it's under 65%. In my experience, the most ideal would be under 55%. High humidity levels can lead to moisture trapped in your top coat, which will result in a film. So this is also important to monitor to complete a perfect top coat. And I use a torch gun to get rid of any air bubbles, which helps to create a perfect finish. Always be sure that you're moving your torch gun very quickly so that you don't burn your resin. Once I'm finished, I make sure to cover my coasters so that no dust particles or fibers fly into it while it's hardening, and I come back the next day to remove the liquid latex. I usually allow a few more days for it to finish hardening, and then we'll work on any finishing touches such as a gold trim to complete my coasters. If you're finding this video helpful, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And here's the final product. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. Follow me on my Instagram, Summer Girl Designs, and my mom's Instagram, Wild Heart Resin Art.